Welcome everybody to my playthrough of the Stanley Parable. Now this is a game I do not know much about. I'm going into it with blind eyes. I watched Spoon play it for about 2 minutes and realized, you know what, I better play this myself because it looks so friggin' cool. So, the about of the game confused me just as much as watching Spoon play it. It goes like this. The Stanley Parable is a first-person exploration game. You will play as Stanley and you will not play as Stanley. You will follow a story and you will not follow a story. You will have a choice, you will not have a choice. The game will end, the game will never end. Contradiction follows contradiction. The rules of how games should work are broken and then broken again. The world is not made for you to understand. But, as you explore, slowly meaning begins to arise. The paradoxes might start to make sense. Perhaps you are powerful after all. The game is not here to fight you, it's inviting you to dance. Yes, that is all that I know about this game going into it. I'm really excited. As you can see, the screen is like a mirror of my screen. And actually, if you look at the top left, you can actually see my recording software on there. I don't think you will in the top right, the top left of this recording, but you can on the little computer, which I thought was really cool. But I will shut up. Let's get into this and see what it is all about. And it's going to take a while to load, I believe. I have a lot going on with my system right now, so hopefully it loads up here. But while this is going, I do not think this is linear at all, so I might do a few different playthroughs and run-throughs. I don't know how long the game is. It's dependent on that, but I'm going to do my best to show you every aspect of this game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, so...
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay, so that is my cue to start playing. What an introduction. That is... Stanley has one of the worst jobs I've ever seen. And let's just look around here, see if we can find anything neat. Can we touch any of these buttons? Can I touch the big red button? Nope. Oh, did I just do something? Oh yeah, I think I'm playing with it. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're in the office, and that is my room, 427.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I guess we gotta go to the meeting room.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Who did fart? I guess we just keep going to the room, conference room. Damn, this is empty. This is weird. I hate Mondays. Me too. Okay, we're just gonna head down this hallway.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fuck that shit.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh man, he's like commentating my life. This is great. Alright, going to the meeting lot. What is up there? I thought that was a vent. Alright, meeting room. Here we are. Our lounge room.
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Hey, what is up with all the cups all around? We got cups everywhere.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so I guess I went a bit too quick and kind of ruined that cutscene, or at least audio. Do I want... That looks pretty fucking scary. I don't know. I'm curious on what's down there. But he's telling me... Okay, I'm going to go this way.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay, good. Alright, I just wanted to go look at the lounge. No big deal.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, look at all this information that I cannot read. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. Good idea. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Good. Next slide, please. Yes. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, charts and slides, slides. Awesome. Ooh. To-do, synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade? What does that say? I can't read it. Parade? Is that a word? I don't even know. Monetize free-to-play. Okay. Broom closet. Ooh. Ooh, oh, shit. The door pushed me. Hi.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Fuck you, I'm staying here for a bit. Oh, can't tell me what to do.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Stop telling me what to do, jerk. Uh-oh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fuck that. Not going to the boss. Let me open. Nope, can't open that. Oh god. Maybe I'm gonna wanna go up there? That's a little creepy looking. Fuck it, let's do it.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss.
No, I'm sorry.
He had left his post during work hours.
Oh, fuck.
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
What?
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment.
No, I'm in a loop.
Reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
I'm dreaming?
He yelled. This is all a dream.
I hope so.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh?
Then he imagined
What?
himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Whoa!
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Oh.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
It must be a dream.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Okay.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay. Can I wake up, please? Oh. Okay, I'm in the same
Stanley
fucking place.
began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real.
I'm turning red.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, shit.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke
What
up
happened
on
to
a day like
Stanley?
any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Shit.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
No, don't run away. What the fuck just happened? What did I do that was... What the fuck? No! Oh, come on! I just didn't listen to you for 1 fucking second.